Hey everybody, welcome to Physics 1106. This is the second lab class for the second class that we have in introductory physics. And a lot of you have just finished 1105, but a lot of you are new. So I thought I'd give you a little video to show you the ropes for the class. Okay, so I'm your professor, Professor Katrin Schenk. I teach physics and computer science and math. Lots of different things here at Randolph College. Okay, so first things first, you should have gotten your lab kit. You want to make sure that you go to our site, to the Moodle site, which I'm going to show you in a second, and you make sure that everything on the list you have. Okay, so let me show you the Moodle site. So let me share my screen. Okay. All right. Oh, give me a second. I did the wrong thing. Okay, so here we are. So now this Moodle site, the way that you get there is that you're going to type moodle.randolphcollege.edu, okay? And then once you go, it'll just automatically come up with a login. You're going to use your Randolph College login, okay? So not your home institution. Now, a lot of you already know all this, but anyway. So like for instance, my email at Randolph College is kshank@randolphcollege.edu. I type in kshank for the username and my password for Randolph College. So for your email, for Moodle, it's all the same. And you'll be able to see, once you get in, a list of the classes you're taking. You might be taking more than one. But this, when you click on Physics 1106LA, that's our lab class, and you will see this. Now, your view will look slightly different because you're a student and I'm the professor. Okay, but what you should see is a link to the video. Okay, so right now you see last year's video, but anyway, you'll see this video. And then you'll see this thing. This is probably your go-to for this class because this tells you when everything is due, okay? So notice that today, July 5th, tomorrow, July 5th, you are going to have something due because class starts tomorrow and it's a 5-week class and it's very fast. And then the other thing you'll see here in green are the suggested days to complete laboratory activities. So for instance, July 6th, the suggestion is that you do lab 1 on that date. Now, you do not have to. No one's going to be sitting there waiting for you to do it. But you do have to be aware that the lab is due on July 8th, okay? Now, a lot of times we'll have more time in between labs. So for instance, what you're going to see here is, as we go through, it's going to be a little bit more like this. On a Monday, it's the suggested day to do the lab. And then the lab will be due on a Thursday. So you'll have more time. So we're just a little compressed in this first week, but so keep abreast of everything. So, okay. Here we have, pre-labs are due before every lab. Okay. All right. So, and there's actually more work that's on this calendar for this very first week. And again, those of you who have just finished 1105, you're going to see some quizzes about Excel and statistics. That you're just going to redo, okay? The same quizzes as you already took, okay? So this is your chance to do better than you did last time. Okay, so you're going to see, we're going to scroll down to lab 1, and I'm actually going to turn it on here because right now it's not shown. And so what you'll see is you'll see a suggested day to complete the lab. You'll see the lab report type is informal. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And then you'll see kind of a list of stuff you have to do. Now notice this first week's a lot because you have other things besides the pre-lab and the lab. You have some an Excel quiz, a statistics quiz, a significant figures quiz, okay? And then as well as you have the pre-lab, okay? That's due on July 5th, the first day of class. And then the informal report is due on July 8th. Okay, so now let me explain formal and informal, and we can go back to our general information section. That's right here. And I'm going to show you the syllabus. So we go here to the syllabus, takes us to another page, and it tells you suggested day to do the lab. It tells you what the lab is called, okay? And you can see all the different labs, and you can see the type of turn-in format. Now, when it says informal, what that means is that there's just going to be a quiz on Moodle. Okay, you're just going to take a quiz about the lab, and it can be things, questions about where you'll have to enter your data, or just questions about the lab. Okay, they're informal. Now, when you're doing all the labs, you should be keeping a lab notebook, right? Because that really kind of will make sure that you have all the information you need to do these informal reports, right? And to do the formal reports. Okay. So make sure you're keeping a lab notebook with everything. All right. All right. And then the formal, here you see so informal, formal, informal, informal, formal, 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 right? So there's several of each. And formal is an actual lab write-up. Now, to know what to do, there's a whole section I think it's in week 2, where you're going to learn what to do by taking a quiz about what to do. Okay, there's a rubric that you should look at before you write your formal reports, because there's very specific things that we're going to be putting in that rubric. And that way, again, we're getting to, I said week 2, I mean lab 2. We're going to be getting to as we move along. Okay, so just follow this calendar. It also is outlined for you for every lab, what to do. And let me see. So let me see what else I need to talk about. So the lab manual for each, what do you do for each lab will be the first thing that you see linked in all the lab sections. Okay. And there'll also be a questions forum where you can put questions, because a lot of times your fellow students are going to know more about, what's going on with a lab than even I would sometimes, right? So post questions there. Of course, you could text me and email me. So let's go back up to here. Again, those of you who have been in the previous class will know about contacting me. So we have office hours on Zoom, 1 to 3 Mondays and 1 to 3 Thursdays, okay, and by appointment, okay, anytime you want. Now, you can always text me or call me, okay? So again, if you text me really late on the East Coast, I'm on the East Coast now, I just got back from the West Coast. So if you text me really late on the East Coast, I'm not gonna get back to you probably till the morning, but you can always try. It won't hurt anything if you text me at 2 in the morning. That's not gonna wake me up. But I will get to you back to you as soon as I can. It's often faster to text me than it is to email me, but I check my email a lot during the day. But texting is often really good. Make sure you introduce yourself, because I won't really know who you are. I'll just see your phone number. So introduce yourself in the text. Okay. And let's see, what else do you need to know to get started? I think that's pretty much it. I mentioned the lab kit, so there's a contents of lab kit right here that you should go in and you should look at. You should make sure that everything's in your lab kit. Now, I've already heard from a couple of people that they're missing something, and that was, we've changed our protocol and how we put them together, so that doesn't surprise me. I'm sorry about that. We will be getting replacements out to you. So please check right away and get back to me quickly. The first few labs, the things that were missing were not relevant for the first couple of labs, so lucked out on that. So we'll be able to get that equipment out to people. Yes, and the syllabus, by the way, tells you all about how we grade, right? All right, so I hope that you are going to have fun in this class. Just remember, it's very quick. You got to keep up with it. And I know a lot of you are in the lecture as well, so it's a lot of work. Okay, so let's just make sure to stay on track if you can. Okay, I think that's all I needed to tell you. All right, we'll see you in class.